Howdy everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Okay, so today I wanted to show you, due to a wonderful ice storm that's hitting here where I am for the last 2 days, I had no choice but to look at a variety of operating systems that to move off of Apple, and for sure nowhere close going back to Windows. So I wanted to introduce you to two operating systems I'm looking at for different reasons. Right now, if you don't know, Windows 10 is basically surveillanceware for the US government or wherever you are. Apple this year in 2018 has decided to get rid of their one-on-one service with the Genius Bar. So why bother booking or buying Apple Premium product when you're not going to get the service? That was the whole point of it for years that I've been with. So I said, screw it. I'm not going to be with this anymore. So I'm looking at privacy with the last few days with Mr. Zuckerberg, Facebook revealing all the wonderful, crappy detail that Facebook spies on us. I'm shocked that people are actually shocked. But these are the alternative operating systems I'm looking at. The first one, we're going to get really geeky here. I'm in VirtualBox. I'm going to boot up my Open Bsd operating system here, and I've been testing this VirtualBox just for testing. And again, this is Open Bsd. It's a Unix-like, not Linux-like. So this one is really powerful, where it will turn off everything by default. I think a lot of reasons why a lot of companies get hacked into is just due to lazy administrating on the OS level where your data lies. And due to that, a lot of these services by default get turned on, which hackers are taking full advantage of. And here we are seeing data being breached in the millions of users on a variety of different companies. So one of the nice things about OpenBSD is it's very secure, and again, everything's all turned off by default. So this is a very how should we say, secure database. Let me just see here if I remember my password and all that. Okay, here we are. So I just logged in as a user, as root, as you can tell. Just get rid of this little thing here. Now, just so you know, hang on here. Let me just get rid of this puppy. I can never remember how to do this, but that's okay. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to ignore this. So this is the basic X Windows system that you can, as of, I believe this is 6.1 OpenBSD. They have a few versions of OpenBSD 6.2, 6.3, and really this is a pretty secure pretty secure operating system. As I said, all the security levels are defaulted as off. I've been watching quite a few videos on the difference between OpenBSD and FreeBSD, where FreeBSD, when you need to get changes and then to get the core updates in the FreeBSD, can take months, and essentially they may never do patches, whereas OpenBSD is very quick, and they've had very few breaches because of it. So OpenBSD is the way to go. So this reminds me, going back to the 80s. It's very, very basic, nothing fancy. There's no browser. I think there is a way to get Firefox. I'll just leave it at this. This operating system is really for server only. It's really designed for geeks, for developers, and I'm planning to move ahead with this. The cool thing about this is that it only took 200 megabytes to download, and it's very small. So apparently what the trend is now with a lot of the geeks and the security is there's a particular laptop that is bought from Lenovo or ThinkPads. They're very old, about 5 years plus, maybe. I did check my eBay on the particular ones. They're about 130 bucks, these laptops. And the reason why people are moving to them is because they're secure, meaning that they don't have the remote Intel whatever chip that they allows remote services and opens them up on the architecture of the motherboard. So this generation and the previous generations of hardware doesn't have the ability where people can just remotely log in using these INSI catchers or whatnot. It's just not possible because they don't have the hardware to support it. So there's a big trend moving towards that. So I would not be surprised the world will go backwards with the hardware. And the funny thing is that yeah, that is the way to go to get more secure. If you want to go even extra secure, as I call it, paranoia lockdown, this is the operating system you want to be on for that, on Open Bsd. Now you may be going, oh, why would you want to go that route? Well, when you're dealing with your live money, you'd be surprised that people will go to all levels to basically, let me just shut down here. I hope this one works. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So it's been shutting down. Good night, Charlie. Anyways, well, this is the direction that a lot of the nerds are going, and I don't blame them, to be honest. And I wouldn't be surprised that with Windows and Apple, the way they're going, more and more people are going backwards now. But the funny thing is, I put up on my Facebook a operating system called DeepIn, which looks awesome. The problem is it's out of China, and the server's out of China, everything's controlled out of China, and I really have no interest in obviously going that direction. But then I discovered that one of the Linux distributions have DeepIn, the interface built on top of Manjaro, which is Debian, which is pretty good. So if you want to really sex up your computer interface, you can do that here with the Manjaro and still have the neat things with this DeepIn, because DeepIn's kind of cool, as you can tell by the funky music as you log in here. Okay, so I have not set up my login to authenticate me, which I should, but I'm just playing around with this just to see what this thing's all about. I can turn this off. This is built off of Debian using the DeepIn interface. Now it's kind of like a combination of Mac and Windows 10 without any of the worries of who's snooping in. You can get things like Wireshark and whatnot. I'm not a deep enough nerd to figure that stuff out yet. I plan to, but I just want to give you a guided tour of this thing. It's pretty cool. So here you have the proprietary, I won't call it proprietary, but the DeepIn file manager, similar to Windows that you're used to. We have obviously Firefox. The terminal, if you want to go back to the 70s and 80s, you can do that here and get the little cathode green that we all don't like. I'm still playing with this thing, so please don't brutalize me in my comments. I don't pay attention to those anyways. So here's where it gets very interesting. We have a desktop, but here I could never figure out the different desktops and how to use them, because I'm just basically a fool, I guess. But here you can have multiple desktops, and so what does that mean? So if I click on this guy, I'll just do a simple terminal. Where's my terminal? Here we are. Okay, so I'll just do ls or something. Go back here. Go back here. But here I can just easily jump into that desktop, which I kind of like. And I've never been able to do that because, well, I'm just not smart enough, I guess. Okay, so let's go back to our main terminal here. So I like the little sexiness. Ooh, yeah, a little package manager with some neat little music here. We have the control center, which I haven't really played around with, but we have here, as I said, similar to Windows 10. And get the weather, which is wrong, obviously. All these warnings and notifications and whatever. Battery, if you're on a laptop. Wired connection on your IP, I guess. Current volume. Date. Ooh. Okay. And lastly, the trash. Okay, so let me take you into here. This is like the OS 10 launcher. Some decent little apps to help you out. Multitasking view, the system monitor, what's running, what's taking up memory. Yeah, so you can terminate these with the different processes. So, you know, no different than in Windows or OS 10. Let's see what else we have here. We've got show desktop. Now these are all default, okay? This is what you get defaulted to I don't know, half of these. I'm not a Linux guy. So you could set up a firewall, I guess, if you want. Yeah, I'll do that another time. We have hex chat. So, oh, I see. These are the different networks you can add, I guess, for private messaging. What else we got here? The Libreoffice, which I've been using for a while. It's pretty good, actually. I don't even know what Libreoffice math is, really, if it's just Excel. Oh, I see. So some kind of visual representation. I guess this is, what, latex or something? Or I have no idea. I'll figure it out as I go. Oh, no, wrong window. Okay, don't save. Now you can see I'm getting my geek on here. I do get kind of excited by that. Okay, so we have Manjaro user guide. So here, Qt is a big one, obviously. Redshift, root, software update, transmissions, which is kind of like FileZilla. Enables you to download torrents. Maybe it's just torrents. There's no FTP in here. But you should be able to get FileZilla on this thing, no problem. Xzane scanning. Oh, this is like, I guess, to scan your hardware. Pretty cool. Okay, fine. Yay. Let's see. So that's pretty well a lot of stuff, but you may go, well, where's the file software manager? Where was it? I know there's an add software here somewhere. Add remove software. So this is like the store. So here are our current updates. Something like 300 of whatever. I do know I can get rid of them if I wanted. Don't really need them. So I can just, if you really want to go bare bones, I'd probably go with the Open Bsd. Okay, so the categories. So we have development here. Obviously, we've got quite a bit of stuff. Code blocks I've talked about. CMake, the compiler, or the cross-platform build system. Eclipse. Idle. I'm surprised that Atom is Atom in here. Yeah, there's Atom, the new popular, a new popular editor that's getting pretty popular. It's kind of like Sublime, but it's free. We have here the Python interpreter. We have, what else we got here? So a lot of this is open source. So Genie, which apparently is for, I've never really played with it, but it looks like it's for GTK, so I guess that's to build, what do you call it, ID, GUIs, graphical user interfaces. There's the Emacs, the editor, the IntelliJ, Julia, so on and so forth. So I could go on and on and on. Ninja IDE. I don't know, I've never played with that. This one I like, the NetBeans. But this said PooEdit. So PooEdit, GUI editor for new. PyCharm, which I've used. And then of course we get into the Qt stuff, 4 and 5. But the odd thing is there's a Qt designer for number 4, which I've used in the past. Now, just so you know about Qt, the latest Qt will include, as a default language, is now going to support Python. So that's obviously a big deal. Spider we played with, it's not bad. So these are all the IDEs and stuff. We don't care about internet. But yeah, you go on and on and on. Of some of this stuff, we've got the Libre. So there's lots of apps here to play with. R, Pi. Yeah, there's quite a bit. Lots of stuff to play around, settings. But the question is, how secure is this? So let me do a lookup here in the local build here of, let me just see here, of, one thing I like about Linux is encrypting the drive. So let me just see if there's a utility or something that we can do. Manjaro Linux encrypt. Yeah, let me just see here. This is one important one. Disk encryption, Arch Linux. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Manjaro create home partition. Let's see what this does. So do realize you can do all this stuff and add in, I tried to install encrypting only the home partition. Guess you have to do it at the terminal level. So looks like that can be done. Let me just look at the other link here. Calamares. What is this? Use this to download our latest development build. Manjaro gains Lux encryption support. Okay, so it looks like there is some stuff going on. Yeah, be very interesting to see what we have available, and let me know what you think, and all that fun stuff. Okay, I just wanted to introduce you to this. I do think this is a kind of a neat desktop option with the DeepIn option without worrying about getting the no offense to Chinese, but out of a Chinese server and all that. So not a bad little toy, I guess, for free. Some open source there as well. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.